Hey, good morning. Today is January 9th, 2018. My name is Jeff Fritz. Welcome back to the stream. And I've already got Brendan chiming in there on Twitch. Have a good stream. Thanks a lot, Brendan. I'm guessing you're at Code Mash out in Sandusky, Ohio. Enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great time there. DJ Vortex, hey, good to see you. I just finished setting up a doctor's appointment a little bit later today. I've been dealing with this chest congestion and want to try and get to the bottom of it and see what's going on. It's been an interesting week. There's a lot going on, and I want to make sure that we take a look and we talk about some of the things that have happened, and of course get back into coding. I've got some interesting feedback on the stream that I want to start driving towards some goals I want to make sure I try to land here. So I'm decked out in my best Overwatch here. You can barely see it, but I've got a brand new Overwatch t-shirt. Overwatch League starts this week, and I'm really excited to see how things progress, how this is accepted by the community. I mean, streaming esports at this level with teams. The Overwatch League is owned by Blizzard, the company that makes Overwatch, hence the hat also. But I'm curious to see how it's received by the community. I also, I've got music playing in the background, of course. This is music to code by, and I switched things up with my monitor here a little bit so I can try to listen and hear exactly what levels you're hearing. And it is really, really low. So I'm going to try and push that up a little bit so that you can actually hear the music behind me. Because when I went to check out some of the playbacks, it was like, you can't actually hear the music. So I felt kind of bad about that I've been saying, hey, check out the music, here's what I've been playing. And it just doesn't sound right to you. So I'm going to try and dial that in, get that lined up and sounding better on the stream. Space Shot, Chris, thanks so much for hosting the stream. Now, I didn't hear that on the monitor. Do you guys hear the sound effect when that shows up, or when we hear things like Steve Ballmer pop up saying developers? Yes, you do hear that. All right, why do I not hear it over? And for me, the music is a bit overpowering now. Alright, I will back it off just a little bit. It's also probably because I'm not talking, right? But I did not hear the Steve Ballmer, or the audio there at all. How far are we with the follower goal? We're more than halfway there. Give me a second, we'll take a look at that in just a minute. It didn't come through here. Okay, yeah, you didn't hear that audio. Aha! Let's take a look over here at this. Yeah, I'm gonna roll things back to the way that I used to have them. Dun, 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 dun. Not recording playback. All right. And all right, I'm gonna go over to Streamlabs. And let's test to make sure that our friend Mr. Ballmer is still audible to all of us here. So I will switch views. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Alright, so let's go to the alert box. Let's test to see if this is sounding properly. There we go. I think you can hear Steve again. That's better, right? Alright. Yeah, I think we're okay there. Uh-oh, what? Do that again? Alright, let's do Steve one more time. Can't hear Steve. Oh no. No Steve. Alright, let's try this one more time. Can you hear me? Right? You guys can hear me, right? No Steve. How about now? You did hear it that time. Alright. I'll do them one more time. Now we got Steve. Fantastic. Okay. Just barely audible. Let me bump this up. Now you hear Steve fine. Alright, good. Alright. Music is a tad loud. Alright. There we go. I turned down the music just a bit. I'm gonna finish my coffee and then switch to water. Alright. That's better. Okay. So I think we got audio all settled out there. Steve incoming. Oh. Where is he? Steve? Steve? Where are you, Steve? Come here, Steve. I don't see Steve. Hey, good morning, Bruno. Happy Tuesday. Hey, Organic IT is here. Fantastic. The gang's all here. Nice hat. Yes. And I've actually got the t-shirt to match. There's Steve. Thank you. No. It's fine. Nightbot. Yeah, Nightbot's gonna get a little cranky if you go and spam things out there. Alright, there was a question. I want to make sure I cover this. Vortex had a question out on Twitter. What is the URL for live streaming? No, not that one. Why is my VSIX not including a package reference? Alright. So this is an interesting question. Docker wants to install updates. No, not yet. Alright, let's open... Hey, look, Blizzard. I was playing earlier today. We can close that. So the question from Vortex on Twitter was, why am I not getting package references in my VSIX? So here's the thing. When you build... Right, so I'm... let me just do a new project. Just throw something out there. Where is it? Extensibility. Yep, a V6 project. C dev demo V6. I don't care what it's called. I just want to show that we can build something, add a reference, and be able to use it. So, getting started with Visual Studio extensions. Wonderful. So I'm just going to go and add if I add a reference to something that's already on disk, right? If I go and browse for an assembly, like, I don't know, system configuration, right? It adds it into the references list. It should add into to the references list. System configuration. Yes. There it is. All right. But if I want to add a NuGet package, right, and I believe that's what you're referencing, is why isn't your package, why isn't the NuGet package being included, right? Yeah, package reference. So let's add a NuGet package. So I'm just going to do a browse, and I'm going to go find Newtonsoft JSON. Why not? Easy to use. We'll just install that, the latest pre-release, because I'm feeling edgy, aggressive. The exact one, fantastic. So it built. There it is. It's in as a reference here. So I'm just gonna do a build. All right, and let's open the folder and take a look. If we go into bin, debug, right? I mean, the DLL is there, and the VSIX, if I remember correctly, it's just a zip file. And look at that, it's not in there. All right, now I'm wondering. Components, localized resources. I also don't see the DLL here. Right, that feels weird. And actually, I don't see the DLL here at all for anything that I wrote, so I didn't actually write any code yet. Let's add a new item. Extensibility. Came across an issue problem using the Cosmos DB emulator on my local host. Trying to connect to a Docker container in a Linux container. SSL validation is a pain. All SDKs except .NET allow a disallow SSL validation. Property, Sad Panda. Haven't tried that yet. Hang on, we'll come back to that in a minute. So let me add a VS package here. Alright, so there is a Visual Studio package. Now when this builds, I should actually get something compiling and coming out. Agate? Basil 4034, thank you for the follow. And gosh, I didn't thank earlier. NI Fix 777, thank you for the follow as well. So our goal at the top, 378 of 500. When we get to 500 followers, we will. I'll host an 8-hour live stream workshop here on ASP.NET Core. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, so that compiled. Let me go back over here. There we go. All right, so I have a DLL. So let's get rid of that one and rename. So there's my V6 DLL, and it isn't including my actual NuGet package. Now, when I built and when we worked on Epic Build Music, I actually did include a NuGet package reference, and that was included. Is it stripping it out? Let me just go down here, and I'm just going to add a reference to Newtonsoft JSON, right? Equals new J object. Right, I don't care. I just want to get something out of Newtonsoft JSON. That. Alright, I don't care. Build. Build started, succeeded. Alright, and there's Newtonsoft JSON and all these other things. So now let me get rid of that. Let's rename this. .zip. Yup. And you're right, I don't see it there. There's the PDB file name. Right, because that reference, There, this one. Copy local true. Engine application architecture. Types defined will be embedded into the target assembly. No. Assembly should be installed via Engine. When the extension is installed, the setting will not affect dependencies. Huh. I don't know. That should have included it. Because when I look at... let's look at Epic Build Music. Let's see if we can see the difference between the two. Alright, so there's that. Right, so Epic Build Music has a bunch of references, and I've included... Where is it? I thought I had a package that I included here. Excuse me. Yeah, gosh, I don't know. Sure should have included it, right? Visual Studio extension reference NuGet package. And it should have included and brought it along. Using NuGet versus an extension. No. No, I don't want it in the template. NuGet package, isn't it? NuGet, no. I don't know. This is gonna bug me. NuGet package references not copied in Visual Studio extension projects. Is to add the solution and include it in VSIX. No, that's terrible. That's not good. Here we go. Add reference solution. Oh no, that's dependencies. No. Interesting. Let's do this, because now I'm really curious. I know my friend, my colleague, Mads Christensen, uses a bunch of NuGet packages in his extensions that he builds. Right, so if I take a look at this one, and I'm just looking for, here's the VSIX, right, and he's got a packages config, there, and he's using things like Newtonsoft JSON, and and Uglify. So how is he referencing that and making sure that that comes along? Here's a CS proj, so we should be able to see Newtonsoft JSON, there it is, reference include, yeah. So is it in his manifest? Installation target, community, core editor, web, VS package. I'm wondering if that's it, if it's not in the manifest. Settings file. Interesting. Now I'm really curious. Is it over in here? No. I would see. I don't think you should have to install. You shouldn't have to include it in the package explicitly. It should just do it. And I don't see that. Right, let me go back over here. If I go to... let's look at the VSIX manifest. No, these are assets, right? Things that enhance Visual Studio. So it's not one of those things. I'm sure I didn't have to do it with VS 2015, but I might be wrong. No, you shouldn't have to do any of these things. It should just install filed on file system. But this would be in V6 manifest. So if Mad's included, right? He included and referenced Newtonsoft JSON. It should be included over here, and I don't see it. That's interesting. Because you think it would just come along. I mean, it should just come along. Let's look at another project, see if there's something else hanging out here that we might be missing. Right, so he's got packages config and he includes build tasks. Bad example. Markdown editor, here we go. I know he's referencing the Markdown package for this one. Because we talk about that package a lot. MarkDig, there it is. So MarkDig, right, that's something that clearly isn't included or deployed anywhere. And project output group. I wonder if that's what's picking it up right there, package. So let me do this. Let me go back to the little demo that we started putting together. And this one. And I'm going to open this V6 manifest. Just open it with, sure, whatever. I didn't want that. I want the text editor. Notepad, I don't care. Yeah, look at that. So by default, this bit here, the asset, right, so we have one asset and it, oh no, there it is, packaged project output group. But this other one is the MEF component and then the VS package, which is registry. Oh, that's because this is a language service. I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I would have to take this back and ask some of my colleagues. What's, that's really interesting. So I'm going to go back to your question. Let's see if we can get some help. We're trying to reference, let's just say JSON.net in a VS extension, and it's not being copied into the output V6. What am I doing wrong? There we go. Let's see if we can. It's a little bit early out west, and DJ Vortex found a bug in the matrix. No. I'm sure it's gonna end up being like a doc bug that we just didn't document something very well. but it's not clear to me where that should be, because you would think if you look at the extension, the results that are coming through here, right, you would expect to see it in here. In fact, I'm going to go one further. Let's just clone. Let's just clone, which one was it we were looking at? Web compiler. Let's see what that looks like. Right, and this is the beauty of open source, right? I can navigate to somebody else's project and just clone it, open it up. Alright, so let me go back to Visual Studio. There's web compiler. I'll open the solution file. One-way upgrade. Do it. Let's see. All right. Failed to back up. So what? They're EXEs. Who cares? All right. So now, right, if I look at the references for the web compiler VSIX, there are these other guys down here. No, I don't want live unit testing started, but I do need to restore packages. So I'm going to right click and say restore NuGet packages. All packages are already installed. Oh, really? Rebuild completed. Yeah. You know what, this might be because I don't have Visual Studio 2015 on this machine. Yeah, I'm willing to bet that's exactly what's going on there. Yeah. But if I look at this, that wasn't listed in our other project. Source, a project in the current solution, web compiler VSIX. Right, that's the output of this. Oh no. Nope, there it is. Yeah, let's see if we can get some feedback from Mads. That doesn't feel right, and I'm sure there's something that there's some setting or something we're just missing. Alright. I want to go back and I want to start talking about some of the other projects that we were working on. Developers. Oh, look at that. TerraJobst. That would be my colleague Emo joining us. Maybe he knows. Emo, so we're seeing this issue with Visual Studio extensions not including a DLL that's been referenced when we compile a Visual Studio extension. And the prototype example there is including JSON.NET. It isn't being compiled and included in the resultant package. It's a NuGet reference, right? We're referencing that NuGet package and it's not being wrapped up and delivered, right? So here is my project. I've got a packages config and there's Newtonsoft JSON. And when we compile, right, it's here in the references. It isn't being delivered. It isn't appearing in the resultant delivery. I'm not quite sure where that's being dropped. Right, when I look at my debug folder, it's being copied into the debug folder. But during when it gets built into the VSIX package, it's not included in there. So that feels weird. So let me know if you see if there's something that I'm doing wrong. All right. I don't see Emo jumping into chat there. Feels bad. Come on, man. So I had a couple of projects. I actually had a number of people comment on configuration builders this week. Do we have anything going on in these other projects? No new issues or anything over here for the configuration builders project. So for those of you that listened to .NET Rocks this week, or no, it was last week. Carl and Richard got really hung up on the fact that you can use any files to configure your ASP.NET. Love the green screen. Thank you. This way, I'm really in Visual Studio. Check it out. Woo. Joined late today. So what we were taking a look at there, Devin, Vortex was running into a problem where he's trying to reference and include a NuGet package inside of his project, in particular JSON.NET, and it's not being included in the output. So we're not quite sure what's going on there. And yeah, I'm going to reach out to a number of my colleagues and see if there's a configuration thing that we're missing. I'm going to take that as a note here to follow up. Why doesn't JSON.NET get included in a VSIX when referenced? Started from DJ Vortex question on Jan 9. And we'll follow up on that. Alright. So, and actually, since Imo is in the chat room, I want to see if you want to, at some point, Imo, if you'd like to join us and talk about upgrading libraries and do some pair programming for upgrading libraries to .NET Standard. Had the same problem, ASP.NET Core returning file fails, IE11 content length mismatch. Okay, that's interesting. That is Stack Overflow. Oh dear Lord. How can I pull that question easily? Let me come back to that question in the chat room. But at some point, Imo, if you're interested, I'd love to have you on and we could pair program and upgrade some libraries here. Alright. Let me look at this other question from Ermir. Wow, is that Ermir? I can't pronounce that. Wow. Alright, let's take a look at your question, and this is about ASP.NET Core IE11 content length. I have a controller method. Is this your question? 479 5880. Okay. Alright, so I have a controller method that returns a file, and in all browsers this works apart from IE11. In IE11 I get a 500 server exception. I get this message on the console. Connection ID, request ID, an unhandled exception was thrown. Too few bytes written. I haven't seen this issue. What is the type of entity date? I had this problem too. It won't throw the error. Always managed to solve it by removing the headers. That feels like a workaround. Yanking headers like that. That feels bad because you do want your if modified headers to be output when you're delivering a file, so that you end up with folks being able to cache and not request the file because it's already been updated. That's pretty interesting. And this feels like a question we should follow up on with Glenn, who will actually be here on Thursday morning, and we could talk to him about this problem. So I'm going to take this and add it as another question here. Ugh. There I go, moving Firefox around. All right. Okay, so Stack Overflow question. File response fails in IE 11. And let's follow up with Glenn. And there's the question. All right. Let me give this a label, and we will schedule that. Fantastic. All right. Custom colors for follower bar progress. Ooh, let's see. Would be nice to have the follower goal progress bar change colors as it gets closer to the goal number. Well, that's a cool that's a neat suggestion. Let's see. Just following up, looking back and forth here in the chat room. Great idea. We should. I'm new to Twitch and live streaming this way. Oh, fantastic. All right. I'll set up a discussion and meeting, and we could talk about what's involved, figure out a test project to work on, and we could schedule something here in the next week or two. Yeah, maybe even further out, depending on how timing works. And I'm not just on Twitch. I'm also on Mixer because Microsoft. We own Mixer, and they like to see us using our own product. All right. So this is a question about the Stream Tools project that I've started, and it generates that follower bar that I have up at the top there. And this is kind of neat, the way that Kirk DMO, Kirk, is your first name really Kirk? It is Kirk. All right. So that's a cool suggestion, but this is the repository for managing the stream. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to migrate this over to the Stream Tools project. And I'm going to actually name it the exact... here's the thing in GitHub. It's not easy to migrate a question, an issue, from one repository to another. So let's do this. I'll paste that in. And it was over here. And this is from Kirk DMO. All right. From... at Kirk DMO. All right. Because this sounds like something pretty neat and easy to use. Use TFS. I'd love to. I'd love to. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw some labels on this. I'm going to make this an enhancement. I'll make this a good first issue also, because I think that's kind of neat to build, and I want to leave it out there in case anybody wants to submit a pull request. And that was over here. This is number 14. Migrated to Fritz Stream Tools 14. Now, there's a way to actually have that link all the way through, and I can't remember what that looks like. Reference another repository. There's a way to do this. Worried about who's tracking me? No, I'm not. Developers. Live Unicorn. Thank you for the follow. And thank you, Steve. We appreciate that. Not a relative link. Oh, wait a sec. Linking with other repos. Use the Git submodules link to other projects. No. Yeah, user repository pound in an issue. All right. Developers. Thank you, Emir. I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing that name. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. If I put that, will it actually generate the link? Cool, it did. All right. And I'll close that. Good. All right. I really want to do this Windows subsystem for Linux stream, and some feedback that I did get from a couple of my colleagues was that it'd be great if I could schedule out some of the content that I'm talking about during the stream, because I do a lot of reaction, and you saw just here in the past half hour responding to your questions in the chat. I spent a lot of time doing that, and I'm less focused on a specific project. I do like to get focused on a project before we get into the second hour. So, hello, Gold. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, I'm gotta make sure I have that Mixer console open, just in case I need to hit the ban button. I don't like doing that, but every now and again I've got somebody jumping in here who's not the friendliest. I also had that question from Crankinator about Cosmos DB emulator. I haven't come across that. I haven't seen that at all. Battle Axiom, good morning. Yeah, what the heck? Glad you found the stream. Well, take it easy there, Gold. Alright. Where was I? Okay, so we've, always love Steve's input, yes. Always fun to have Steve chime in. Alright. So I was mentioning we had configuration builders. Carl and Richard were really interested in being able to do things with INI files. I don't have any more updates there. I want to take a day and write some more unit tests for in here, but I think we need to come back to this one a little bit later, because I want to wrap up some of the things that are going on with the Stream Tools project. Alright, so Epic Build Music. Yep, we're still pretty clear there. Kuhn, thanks for the follow, I appreciate that. Crankinator says, I actually found an issue posted on GitHub, reached out on Twitter, got an email from someone on the Cosmos team. Fantastic, that's great to hear, Crankinator. I'm glad you were able to find something to get you helped out. CS Andreas, what is the best server-side language for me? Well, I am a longtime C# fan. I've been using that for a very long time. I'm a big fan of .NET. That's why I joined the team. I've tried using JavaScript and Node on the server, and it just doesn't click for me. I'm not a fan of having the dynamic languages running server side. I've written a significant amount of PHP in my past. I know how to write WordPress plugins with PHP. I know how to write WordPress themes with PHP. I've done a number of PHP websites. I've done Ruby in the past. Ruby was another one that I wasn't. It felt clumsy. I think part of that also is having great tools to support when you need to debug, when you need to go through and do performance testing. You don't know you're going to need good tools until you actually need them, right? Not feeling the rails. Yes, that's right, Battle Axiom. And thanks for the follow, CS Andreas. I appreciate that. Django and Flask. You know what? I haven't spent time with Python. I do need to spend some time with Python so I can get into Django. And Flask, that's... which one's Flask? Flask is the... it's a functional language that runs Flask. I can't remember. But I haven't tried that one either. I actually got a message on Facebook this week. My first computer programming teacher was teaching a class on Python. Now it's like, I have to learn Python now. But I know there are folks that swear by F#. Flask is Python as well. I thought Flask was something else. Written in Python. Okay. Cool. I haven't tried either one of those. I know the folks at Jet really love using F# server side. Haven't gotten into that yet, but I will tell you that I am, in 2018, I will learn F#. In fact, I went so far as to get the Twitter account. So not only am I C# Fritz, I'm also F# Fritz. So I'll figure this out and figure out what to do here. So I think that's going to be something fun to learn. We'll spend some time going through some learning exercises on F# here on the stream. Elixir, that's the one I'm thinking of. Thank you, Avengix. Yes. Because, right, Elixir... Dynamic Distributed Fault-Tolerant Systems. Yep, this is the one I was thinking of. And Rob Connery really likes Elixir, and I haven't spent time looking at it. I'd love to see some together learning streams on F#. Cool. All right. I think that's a learn F# together. Cool. All right. So I want to get back into the Stream Tools project here, and I think there's I want to go through and do some more work with SignalR. I want to build a whole new widget here. I want to actually get into building the viewers widget for this. So for those of you that haven't followed along, this Stream Tools project, and I've actually written a little bit more documentation for this. It's a series of features that can be used to create the little widgets that you see embedded on the stream here. So directly above me, where you see my Twitter account and my blog address, right, my web address, that's text generated by OBS and embedded directly in the stream. But next to that, the bar, the goal bar, ASP.NET Core Workshop, that's actually a web page that's being generated and serving that content. It's listening to the Twitch and Mixer streams, and when it sees followers change, you can it'll actually push down and update the value and the width of the bar there in that goal widget, and then the followers count in the top right over there. That's also a web page that just generates a number, right? It's generating that text and it's embedded in the video here. Gold, there's a widget that's sitting there on my wall with the schedule for the stream. Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. Eastern is when I try to stream. And you're sounding very you almost sound like a bot there. I have heard of that. C# is fantastic with Visual Studio. Yes. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to do a little bit of C#, a little ASP.NET Core that's hosted inside of a Docker container, so I can make those widgets above me there portable and actually deliver them from machine to machine, and eventually we'll host that out on a proper Azure server so that we can do things like host chat inside of this as well. Visual Studio is the best thing since Bloodshed. And good morning, Joe Bud. Thanks for joining us. No worries about joining late. So let's go through and let's start. Don't need that. Let's start looking at wiring up the followers widget. So that last widget on the right up top there, that's showing Twitch viewers and Mixer viewers. So right now we've got about 46 people watching here on the stream. You heard it right, CS Andreas. Yes. So Visual Studio 2017 comes in several different SKUs depending on your need. There's Community Edition, a Pro Edition, Enterprise Edition. I think I'm using Enterprise here. Yeah, I'm using Enterprise because I work on the team. This one comes with a fee. The Pro Edition comes with a fee. I'll make sure to have a consistent, limited vocabulary to keep you guessing. I see. All right. So let's take a look at the project that we're working on. And actually, this ASP Travelers here, that's the sample project for the book. Learn ASP.NET in 24 hours. So let me come down. I'm going to open my Stream Tools project here. So this project, it's a simple C# ASP.NET Core project that will compile and run on any platform. It'll run on Windows, Mac, or Linux. We know that from ASP.NET Core when it's built with .NET Core. I'm going to write for an exam. Would love to watch your interesting channel later. Cool. CS Andreas, I always publish the recordings over to YouTube. If you keep an eye on my Twitter account, you'll see when I publish that over. And thanks for the follow, NMK TV. Thanks. I appreciate that. I think I'm going to pick up the book this week. Cool. Thank you. So this project, this is built in this targets.NET Core, right? You can see all the stuff about it. Here it is, .NET Core 2.0. The book actually was written when we were still doing .NET Core 1.0, so it targets .NET Core 1.0. But all the things that you see and learn in there are applicable also to 2.0. 2.0 makes a couple things easier and also does things like setting up support for SignalR. And we're using the alpha for SignalR in this project. And for those of you that haven't seen us use SignalR, SignalR is a way for .NET developers to abstract away the need to use WebSockets, right? WebSockets is a great two-way technology for you to communicate to the web browsers and clients that are attached to your server and get two-way communication. I can push commands and data down through that WebSocket, but what happens when somebody wants to connect to your service and they're not using a browser or a modern browser that supports WebSockets? So SignalR abstracts that and gives a couple of fallback technologies that it will use in addition to WebSockets. Really cool stuff, and as a developer, I don't have to think about the pipes. Just connect, make it happen, and then I can issue commands back and forth. So in this project, you can see in my blog post wrap up from last week how I set up SignalR for this. Real easy to do. There's actually a command here in the startup where I add SignalR and I add my hub. Right, my hub is my central piece that acts on the server to coordinate, communication to the SignalR clients. Joe Bun's asking, do I know anyone on the JavaScript services team? I would like a stream on how to integrate Parcel Bundler into an ASP.NET Core app like they do with Webpack. I do know folks over there that Steve Sanderson and his group, that might be interesting to talk about and to look further into JavaScript services and how to extend those. I'm not sure I'm the right person to host that. Do me a favor, open an issue in the live stream repository, and we'll see about setting up a discussion on JavaScript services. If you haven't seen JavaScript services with ASP.NET Core, you may have heard of Angular Universal, where you can run your Angular applications server-side and have it generate and spit out the HTML so that first-time visit to a website is pure HTML. It's no JavaScript, but then the JavaScript application kicks in and it starts handling interactions at that point. JavaScript services are the way that we do that in .NET. But I was talking about SignalR. So SignalR is added by adding 2 lines here inside my configure services method, and then in my configure method where I actually configure the pipeline, my response pipeline, I tell it use SignalR, and I tell it to map my follower hub to a follower stream endpoint. And that gives us a way to point and connect to that. Oh, so you can actually run Angular 4 sites on browsers with JavaScript disabled. Yes. Right? And that also lets you do, when you compile your Angular application server side, it also lets you work around search engine optimization, because search engines usually don't execute JavaScript. JavaScript services will detect that that's not supported and handle it appropriately. Exazela, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. It looks like I'm about to get Deca Prime with a follow. There we go. Thanks for the follow, Deca Prime, and thank you, Steve. Thanks for keeping us on task here. So where was I? So here's where I map that follower hub that does the live connection. And as you saw, as Steve showed up there and said, hey, developers, the bar up at the top and the number of followers over there changed and updated with the new count. So that's pretty cool. And that's just pushing down, and it's actually inside my services here. I actually trigger an updated event, and the where'd it go? This is being listened to. I forget where update is being listened to. My update event here. Now, why am I not getting the references count there? Oops, that's bad. That is being listened to. Here it is. This. There we go. So this triggers, right, when, in this case, this is actually my test method, so I can push and test the number of followers there. So that triggers, and it reaches into my SignalR context, and it fires this on followers count updated. So all the SignalR clients update with the new count of followers there. And I thought that's what we were doing. Oh no, we do that in the hub also. There it is. So when the service is updated, it'll trigger and send that same information down there. And actually, we'll come back to that in a second. There's a question in the chat room I want to make sure I address. Pablo Valor in the Twitch chat room. Do I think Node.js is the future? Node.js is a great technology. JavaScript on the server has certainly picked up steam, and it's gained a lot of acceptance, a lot of folks building with it. I think it's got some challenges. It doesn't have a really good tooling story. There's a lot of folks that are building NPM packages for it, and they're really building the same features that other languages, Java, .NET, Python, Ruby, they've already got these libraries out there. So you see all these little NPM packages that are being built, and there's one place to go to get them at npm.js to reference and use those. It's a great technology, great for making things simple and small, and JavaScript certainly is easy to learn. But I think it does have a challenge when it comes to tooling. Visual Studio Code does a great job of providing some tooling, so you can have a good editor experience to debug and test performance on your Node.js projects. But I think there's a bit of a problem with the extremely decentralized nature of Node and NPM, and we're seeing that with the problem. We saw it with the NPM repository this week, where there were about 50 packages that were contaminated, and they had to be taken offline. And a number of folks, oh gosh, CJ Aliga, thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that. That decentralized nature, and the fact that there isn't somebody actively policing and maintaining and kind of leading that environment, I think is going to end up tripping it up and causing problems in the future. Node.js is the future of the Node project. Is it your future? It's not my future. I'm definitely going to be spending some time with it, but it's not something that I'm actively working on. As a developer on ASP.NET, I certainly want to know what other frameworks do, but I'm not actively developing it. Would you say it's better to develop JavaScript, Angular, for example, in Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code? Works great in both places. Visual Studio Code, I think, is, if you're developing just Angular, I think Visual Studio Code has some great extensions that are built there that'll help with that. Lua is actually the future. Okay. Imagine considering some RabbitMQ or God knows what. That would be crazy. RabbitMQ is a nice a nice queuing service that you can use with Node.js, with all kinds of frameworks. Really great project. I've used it in the past with some distributed architectures. Check it out. It's pretty good stuff, and it's built on Erlang. So, but you start to get into having to manage a bit of architecture there. Could get a little bit crazy. All right, COBOL is the future. Stop it. Stop it. All right, I want to clean up this bit here. I'm reusing this same code. I've got this duplicated clients all invoke async, and I'm passing this. I've got it the exact same thing here, not in that file. Follower context clients all invoke async, and then the total number of new followers. I want to centralize this method call, and I have it here in my follower hub right there as well. So I think I want to include my follower client here and then pass that out. You guys are all wrong. VB is the future. VB. VB was where I got my start with .NET and COM before that. Really a great language, a nice starter language, but I think it's got some challenges now as we look at some of the modern capabilities that programming languages want. All right, so I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to add my follower client as another dependency of this. And because I have my follower client registered with my dependency injection service here inside my startup, right? See this right here, follower client. That's actually going to be available whenever I have a class that says I need this in order to be constructed. So let's say this dot client, no, gosh, follower client, come on, equals client, and then I'll just generate that as a read-only property. Visual Studio will do that refactoring for me. So now down here, instead of actually calling clients all invoke async, because I don't want this magic string lingering out there, I'm going to say this dot follower client update followers, and then for my count of followers, I'll just pass the follower counts. And now this magic string for invoke async goes away. So that's cool. All right. Meet Popsicle. Good to see you again, Meet Popsicle. It feels weird saying that. I really gotta admit. COBOL devs are actually in really high demand because there's like none left. So right, that's the law of supply and demand, right? When there's big corporations out there that still have COBOL systems out there, absolutely, they're going to want folks to pay folks to build it. And if there's not a lot of folks that want to build with COBOL, you're going to be able to charge more. Custom-made IOC container. Rapier, are you referring to in the startup class? That's actually not a custom-made one. That's the standard kind of basic one that we use that comes with ASP.NET Core. Butabrod, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Check digits. There's a reason there's not many left. I started as a COBOL dev in the 80s. I think COBOL developers came out of the woodwork for Y2K, and then folks either converted off of COBOL or put enough band-aids in place that they didn't need COBOL developers for a while. COBOL something I want to learn just for fun. I enjoy learning new languages. I work with C# now, but always looking at what's new. Yeah, that's cool. Never developed in COBOL, but I've heard that programming in COBOL is pure agony. So I'm not even looking into that despite the possible money. Yeah. All right, I want to make sure that this is working properly. So I'm going to run my project here, and then we'll execute some of those test methods to see if it's... Actually, no, this is the one coming in from my services. So I don't have a way to test this directly. Followers, goal 500 IMO visits. So I get that, and then I should be able to test if I go run Postman. Right now, distorting space-time continuum. And I should be able to push that. 59201, send, and it didn't update. That didn't update. Excuse me. Prologue Assembly 8086 was the end of my career as a CS professional. Oh boy, we got a lot of old folks on here, like me. I have a buddy that supports a few doctor and lawyer offices that still run COBOL, and they can charge basically what they want. Yeah. Now, my little test method here isn't updating and pushing, right? It's not pushing my value down here. Let's take a look at what's going on there. I'm going to go back to my, not viewers controller, not follower hub. No. It's not my configuration. It's in my, I'm looking for my followers controller. There it is. So in my followers controller, I have a post that says if we're in development mode, trigger and set that new number of followers. I'm not even old. That's what I was taught during my computer architecture course 2 years ago. Okay, that's not cool. We need to figure out why schools are still teaching that. All right, so let me post this in. Let's see if we can trigger that update. So Visual Studio lets me debug and attach and see what's going on here. So my test followers is 250. Looks good. And I'm going to invoke and pass that down. Go away. Every single assessment needs to be run through a DOS box as it was 16-bit. Ugh. Okay, that's not passing down to my clients. Why am I not getting... This was testing and working great for us the other day, and it's not working now. Cool stuff. Yep, that works. But this... Right, let me step in. Follower context clients. Yeah. All. And I should be able to see that there's a couple of clients here. Connections. Now it's telling me there's 0 folks connected. Ooh, look at this. Socket closed. Failed disposing connections. Cannot consume scoped service. Follower client from Singleton. Aha! Oh, look at this. Alright, hang on. So I added... Here we go. This is what I did wrong. So the follower client is scoped, but the follower hub is a Singleton. So we've got 2 different scopes there. They need to be on the same usage, is what I ran into. Clever exception. I know, that was really neat to see. So I should be able to close that, get this updated. Good. And now let me push this. And I actually should be hitting my breakpoint, right? Yep, there's my breakpoint. Let that continue. Cool, and my page updated. Alright, that looks good. I'm sure it was only to show how architecture and registers inside a CPU are working. It's easier to show on 8086 than on new cutting-edge CPUs. Yeah. I think they realize none of us is going to even consider programming 8086 in the future. So, I really question how much low-level development, right? How much we really want to get into processor architecture discussion. I really question how much of that we need to do when we teach new developers that are building web pages, right? How much do we really need to get into that? It's nice to have a background, but do you really need to know more after you peel back that first layer? It's interesting. All right. So I think I've got that cleaned up in a better place. But I want to start working on the viewer counts, right? That viewer widget in the corner. So for this one, now I did the previous one as I did the followers goal here as an MVC controller. For this one, I think I want to do, just to show that we can mix and match things, I think I want to do it as a page. So I'm going to create a Razor page now that I will call current followers, right? Current viewers. Generate a page model class. Sure. I don't really have a layout page for this because I just want to generate the Twitch logo, a number, and the Mixer logo and another number. So there it is. Let's get that formatted. Not bad. And I need to be a good developer here. I need to make sure. Fritz Stream Tools. Let's do a commit of what I just finished. That little bit of refactoring before I go and start building new things here. What did I do in the docs? Stream Tools. Jacko La Picole. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. And that was views, followers. There we go. Oh, it was just the introduction of it. Alright. I'm going to just commit those changes. Simplified SignalR interactions into a single client object. So it's all living in one place. Alright. So now I can start working on my current viewers, and I've got a clean commit that I'm working on. I need to add editor config to the project so as contributors don't mess up the formatting. That's a good comment there. I like that idea, Joe Bun. Let's do that. I'm going to add a new item while I'm here. Editor. Come on, show me the editor config. What? It's here somewhere. Where's that .editor config file? I don't see it. I don't see it. Alright. I'm going to add this. I should actually put it probably right at the top, right? Because it'll enforce the whole way down. Need the extension. I thought I had that extension installed. Don't I have it installed? Give me the search box. I'd like the search box. Now I've done it. I've angered Visual Studio. Ooh, I've really done it. Oh my gosh. Huh? Tools, extensions. There we go. Let's see here. Editor, config. There. Those are my installed ones. Let me go online. Editor. There it is. Begin when Visual Studio windows are closed. Alright. Let me come back to that in a little bit here. Only on version 1.2 of the media player. Alright. So, we'll get back to the editor config in a little bit. I want to actually start building this current viewers page. Okay, so I have the two services hanging out here that can trigger and can give me information about the number of viewers that are currently watching. So I can place my reference for those either directly in my Razor as an injectable up here, or I can put it in my code behind in my page model and interact and work with them here. And I think I'd rather have them in the page model because I still want to wire up and do the same push that I have with the client. So I'm going to create my constructor over here, and I just used the constructor snippet. Do I plan to put a list of all viewers on the screen or just the number? Just the number. Because when I look at it now, right now, looking in the corner there, it's reporting that we have about 48 viewers, and if I put everybody's name up on the screen, it's going to take up a lot of space. So I think I want to just put the number for right now. So let me receive into this my Twitch service. Yeah, Twitch service. And I'm going to have a couple arguments here, so let me put these on separate lines so it's a little bit easier to read. And I'm going to receive the mixer service. And at some point, I do need to refactor these and have an aggregate service. And I'm also going to want a client piece at some point, so I can do that same interaction with the hub. Alright. This dot Twitch equals, move the cursor, Twitch service, this dot mixer equals mixer service. Let's create these properties so they're stashed and available for me. Now on the get, well, actually I want to have a property hanging out here that is the current. I want to have two properties. Right. So how is it going to differ from the thing in the top right corner? It's not. I'm trying to recreate it and learn how to interact and build this with SignalR and have a little bit more control over it so that maybe I actually get a little bit faster response as well to the thing that's in the corner, right? This is just, right, it's me learning how those things work and also being able to give me a little bit more control over what's doing the interaction with my streams. Because, yeah, exactly. I'm going to rewrite it with SignalR, and then as I continue to maintain and build more of these widgets, I don't have to put my stream keys out there for other folks and other services to maintain and interact with, right? So I can be a little paranoid and say, no, I'm not giving that to other folks. All right. I think there is a current viewer account on Twitch. Is there one? Yep, there's one on the mixer also. So what I can do is I can go over to my Razor page, and instead of outputting a full bit of HTML, and that's fine, I'm not really worried about those, I can now start outputting and referencing from my model, Twitch, current viewer account, and then I can say mixer, and then do model, mixer, current viewer account, right? So a Razor page, unlike a Razor view, has a page directive and derives directly from a page model class, right? It doesn't derive from, I'm sorry. It references and specifies that this is the model that I'm going to be using. So everywhere I use capital M model, it's actually referencing this thing. And it has a bunch of properties behind it that I can use to inspect and check things out. So if I compile this and navigate directly to this page, I should see the same numbers that I have up in the corner inside a web browser. So let's see what that looks like. Alright, so there's my front page. So if I just go current viewers... Oh, Lantra, thank you for the follow. So now this is saying Twitch 0, Mixer 13. So I've got a Mixer number of viewers coming back, but there's something with the Twitch current viewers that isn't loading properly. So we're going to want to take a look at what's going on with the Twitch service, that it's not loading that information for me. So Twitch current viewer count isn't loading. Okay, so I'm going to go find my Twitch service, which is over here. And where is it? So current viewer count, return underscore current viewer count. Okay. So looking here. Alright, current. Alright. So this service starts async and says start Twitch monitoring, which calls this method, which connects up to Twitch's channel, and it gets all followers asynchronously based on a channel ID, and then puts that count in the current follower count. But it's not actually doing anything with the viewers yet, and that's why we don't see anything coming back yet. Where I believe it was Joban that wrote this, in the Mixer bit here, right? It's actually listening, and where is it? Right, we're stashing the payload. Oh, here we go. Parse the event when it comes down. It'll grab the number of followers, it'll grab the number of viewers, and it'll update the number of viewers in the Mixer service. So that's why that's working properly. But we need something similar over here. In my Twitch service class, so that I'm capturing that value and then I can pass it down to my clients. So this is doing get all followers async, and then it gets that. Let me just reformat this a little bit. So there's my followers. So if I say views, is there a get? I don't have a way to. Well, let me get the channel asynchronously. And developers, Defter B, thank you for the follow. Let me see. Well, I'm already authorized, but it's not. Well, I have set the channel on the service. What's under service? Let's take a look there. Stop service. All new followers detected. Maybe it's under channel data? That's a string. Let's think. Think. Channel data, channel identifier. Let's see, it's under stream. Is it? Well, the stream object is right, so there's my service. So is it v5.stream? No. Where do you see it under stream? The stream object. Is it v5? Is there a get stream? No. Excuse me. Where do you see stream? Man, what else is under V5? So V5 is, wait a sec. Twitch, streams, V5. I need to get a new one of those, don't I? V5 stream. equals new one of these. I'm gonna have to pass in my API, aren't I? Alright, that's fine. And then v5 stream. Get featured stream. No. Get uptime. Get stream by user async string channel ID. There we go. Channel ID. Well, let's see what we get here. My stream, let's call it. Alright. So then, what do we have here? Oh, I need to await that. Rats. Alright. Stream. Is there a view? Ah, there's viewers. Fantastic. So I could say current viewer count equals that. Now I need to figure out how to change stream. Is there an event or something here I can hook up to? No. Ugh. Get stream by user async for viewers equals stream viewers. Yep, got that. So how do we hook up and listen for when the number of viewers changes? So when we did that over in our mixer service, right, so the mixer service is actually hooked up and is listening for events here. Maybe an event on v5 stream. Let's take a look-see. So let's go. No, I don't see events there. Is it on my stream? No, my stream gives me the stream and then... Viewers is just an int. Channel. Ah, channel is a thing. That's the views on the channel. I want to actually listen for an event, right? So v5 stream, what else do we have here? Get live streams, async. That'll give me a collection of live streams. That gets me stream by user. Yeah, I don't see. Let's see if we can go to the docs. Twitch lib, monitor viewer count. How to monitor my chat and number of viewers while streaming. There's a way to do this. That's not it. Twitchlib.events. Do tell. No? Live stream monitor. Ah. What's in here? Channel ID, channel, stream. Oh, and then the stream will have the number of viewers on it. So how do we hook up to that? Looking for some sample code. DuckDuckGo, yeah, right. So it's actually, it creates a client, and then on new subscriber, and then it's just listening. So where I'm creating an API, all right. So if we say client equals new Twitch lib, Twitch client, and then it wants credentials. I don't want to give it credentials. I want it to just listen with my client ID. Twitch API is now a singleton class instantiated with a client ID and auth token. V3 subclass operates almost entirely on usernames, V5 and Helix on Twitch user IDs. Okay. Followers. Twitch pub sub. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. Twitch lib viewers. No. Thought we had Twitch lib devs here. They were. Twitch viewer bot. No. No. Let's see. Yeah, it points me back to that same one. Alright. Viewer bot. Yeah, I know that. Seeing that makes me feel bad. But that current number of followers, where'd it go? Username changes, moderator, no. No. Let's see what they have over here. Viewers, okay. On hosting started. It's under view count args. On view count args viewers. Whoa, looking at the time for me to be getting home. All right, have a good one, DJ Vortex. Good seeing you again today. Pub sub responses, messages, video playback, viewers. Documentation generated from this file on view count args. Huh. Alright, but this is this is under the pub sub object. So let's go back over here and let's take a look at. So yeah, there's Twitch pub sub. This. Whatever. On view count. But it's not telling me what channel it's listening to. Do I have to do that in Connect? Listen to... Listen to subscription? No. If I do a connect, what do I get back? Just a void. No, that's not going to work. The fact that I'm not passing this with any kind of client information makes me wonder, looking at the list of things here, I'm not sure. This feels like I'm in the right direction. Would it be possible to set this channel description to something which describes what the project you're working on is doing? Seems to be you're working on something big. I'm not working on something big, per se. But I'll change the channel description, sure. ASP.NET Core and building web-based stream tools with SignalR. Now, why didn't it update? Update. There we go. On view count args contains number of viewers at current time, so it is the right event. Right. So if we're looking at that event, right, on view count, right? E.viewers is an int, right? I mean, I can do that, but it's like, what am I actually getting the viewer count for? It's not clear to me, right? How do I tell it that I want the viewer count for my channel and not for all of Twitch? Maybe that's the endpoint? Is there an example here about how to use the pub sub? Supports all documented Twitch pub sub topics. What's with live stream monitor? Ooh, I don't know. Under services. Let's move that down a little bit. Twitch lib, services, live stream monitor. I don't know. And once my API, I've got that. Anything else I need? Check interval seconds is 60. 5. Client ID, that's fine. What don't you like there? That's better. That's better. So now if I say monitor... on-stream update? What do we get coming off of that? So what's in here, right? So I've got this great collection of arguments coming down. Stream viewers. There's the viewers. I just joined and I have no idea what you're doing. It would help if I could read a description or something so it makes sense to me. Fair enough. That's a good comment, Mizzou. I'll take that. Properly need to connect. Swifty Twitch lib services live stream monitor. Yeah, so what's the... Is it stream update? Is that the method that... Right, so if I go down into Twitch lib, services, live stream monitor. So this raises an event, right, called on-stream update. When is that being referenced? Check if status on service start, fire on-stream events. Yeah, okay. Stream updated. Okay. No, I don't think on-stream update is going to be the one that we want. Only because, right, that event. There it is. On-stream online, offline, update, stream monitor started. Right, okay. Service that allows customability and subscribing to detection of channels going online or offline. That's all it's doing. Alright, so we can't use that to detect the number of followers on it, I don't think. If we look at the follower service, I don't think the follower service is bringing back information on the number of viewers. Yeah, that's not bringing that back. Let's see. Where could it be? The pub sub felt like it was going in the right direction, but there is that connect function didn't let me specify. Right, it doesn't let me specify which channel I'm listening to. Oh, listen to subscriptions. Channel ID. That might work. What does listen to topic do? Topics list add. Yeah. So if it receives whispers, chat moderator actions, channel bits events. Let's try the pub sub. Let's I don't think it's this one. And let me say client connect. And then if I say client, what was it for the channel? I thought I saw something, listen to topic. Oh, that's a private. Listen to video. Public void connect. Listen to subscriptions. Listen to whispers, listen to video playback, listen to bits. I guess we'll be required to write some code to keep polling channel stream details and then raise an event if viewer changes. Yeah, I really don't want to do that. But it's very doable. Alright, let's do the timer approach. So this isn't being used. Neither is that. Alright, we can get rid of those. So I've got the current viewer count right off the get-go. And then I need to set up a timer. Equals new timer. And then a callback. We'll call it check views. I have written it long ago, digging through code. Oh, alright. Generate that field. And I'm just going to grab that and do the exact same thing right there. Test dots. Wait all. Okay, I need to pass the API. Right. Oh, I hate doing this. Get the awaiter. Excuse me. Oh my gosh. If I tell it run synchronously, yeah, that feels bad. That's not what I want to do. And I don't want to just wait. Oh, what's the wait? All right. Oh man, I always blank on converting something like this to something that runs asynchronously. So I'm enhancing, I'm trying to add the ability to monitor viewers here. In your old code, you poll for viewer count. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to write. I'm just going to write that little poll here. Right, this is a task. If I make this async task, I can do the await here, but then this... doesn't like that. Can't do that. Which means I can't do the await here, which means I need to turn this into a task. Task.await all. Stream task. My stream equals stream task result. And now I've got the current viewer count. Why not task.run? It won't run that. That's an action it's trying to do. All right. This is an asynchronous method. So I want it to run and then come back and give me the result. You can use async void on a callback. I tried putting it there and it... Does that work? I can then say this is my stream. Ah, alright. That's better. Thank you. Yeah, task.run takes an action. This is an asynchronous. Alright, so I've got the current viewer count and it's going to come back. I actually need to specify how frequently the timer runs. I'm not going to pass anything in the state. Due time, the amount of time to delay before callback is invoked in milliseconds. Specify infinite to prevent it from starting. 0 to start immediately. Yes, start immediately. And then how frequently we want it to check. Let's have it check every 5 seconds. And then we should start getting that. This is one of the few times async void is okay. Yeah, see that? My initial gut there was not to do that. Alright. And then the point that Ermir is saying there is saying tasks run and then do something like this and then be able to say await v5 stream get stream channel ID. Right, I need to return that. And the task run is taking an action. I'm actually returning a function. So I would be, right, if I'm returning a function, there it is. Right, I've still got to pass that out somewhere. So, and on main. So on main, that's actually something we just added in C# 7.1. You can do async void on main, and it'll pick it up and use that. Alright, so now I should be getting that current view count. Let's see if this actually works. Right? And I should get back the same numbers that are in the corner up there. And then we can start wiring up SignalR to actually push those updates out there. Alright, so I've... current viewers. There we go, 28 and 15. And I'll just keep refreshing, and let's... I'm okay with that. That works for me. I bet you that 15th is actually Streamlabs attached. So, random question, where's code coverage tooling in the .NET Core roadmap? It seems to be sidelined from everything I've seen so far. Code coverage tooling. So I'm not familiar with any folks talking about code coverage tooling. Somebody from Twitch leaves so we can test. No, that's fine. Don't worry about that. So, code coverage tooling, I thought... I would need to do some research. I'm not quite sure. And I don't want to diverge too far from where we are right now. But I've got that viewer count loading now properly. I want to create a hub for the viewers. So I'm going to add a new class. Because this is what I'm going to attach to listen. So let me find a hub. I don't think we have a hub template here. Right? Hub. Nope, no hub. Oh, it makes me sad. So I will call this a viewer hub. Alright, and this is going to descend from hub. Yep, that's a SignalR hub. Alright, now our follower hub received information about Twitch, Mixer, and then the client so that it could invoke things down on the various connected clients. Let me include this. Put that on a new line. Looks good there. Erlendan, thank you for the follow. Let me save these off locally. This dot mixer equals mixer, and I'm seeing that I'm just gonna have to do lots of refactoring on this stuff when I do need to flip-flop this around. That's not in the V5 API. Yeah, may have already gotten this far, but it looks like Twitch implemented a webhook API to notify. Yeah, I think that's where on the pub sub, and it's not there. Let's see here. Alright, so those are being saved off. Let me go back over to follower hub. So I'm not really going to have... Yeah, this is to go and update followers when they're updated. I think that's really what I need to do over here. When current viewer count, when that is updated in the Twitch service, I want to raise my updated event. Yeah. Alright. Let's do that quick check. So if current viewer count that does not equal my stream viewers, and then I want to raise the event, right? So updated invoke. Right, and then I've got to send in null, and then new service updated event args. Fantastic. So my service name is Twitch. And that's going to be important for me. And the new viewers equals not current follower count, current viewer count. Cool. So now it's important I know what the service name is, because then I can flip-flop back and forth. Each hub requires a separate connection, so only using one hub would be better. Dogmatic Sum, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Just have two callback functions. but it's a different hub being used by each of the widgets, right? So I have, if you look across the top here, so I've got the follower widget, a follower widget, and a follower widget up top in the middle, follower widget, and then the viewer widget in the corner. Sumo. Okay, Dogmatic Sumo. Thank you for the follow. My apologies, I confused the O with a 0. Yeah, I could do it as 1. KM Vanderpool. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Gosh. It's not bad, because then I can get away from having multiple hubs here. And we can work on renaming those later. What do I got going on here? Alright. I'm actually running up against my... running up against another meeting here. I'm going to need to cut out shortly. Alright, so if new followers, okay, so here's where I want to start running into a little bit of an issue here. So if new value followers does not have a value, then it returns. So I need to turn this around, and if new followers has a value, update the followers, and then if new viewers has a value, I need to update the viewers. So let's start to turn this around and put this here. If new viewers has a value, and now I want to actually notify. I want to update the viewers. So I think I want to have this. Let's abuse that follower client a little bit. Update viewers, and then I want to tell it the service that has new viewers and the new viewer count. That'll work. And then over here, I'll create a method for this. And let me go into... Come on. There it is. So here's my update viewers. Let's make this public. So now I will create a new method here that I'm looking for on the client. Follower context clients, all invoke async, and then we'll call this on viewers count updated. And now I need to pass some sort of piece of data to it. Right, and I could pass a collection of arguments. So let's pass service name, and then as a second argument, I will pass the value. I don't like calling that value. Let's call it viewer count. That's better. All right. So now I should be able to use almost the exact same syntax we use to connect to our SignalR connection on the goal page, but here with our viewer. So I'm gonna steal that code. So I need the script for the SignalR client. All right. I'm going to go back up to current viewers. All right. Let's start allocating. Now, the SignalR client, we need to attach to the hub and tell it that we're listening and that we're going to register this method that we're using. So let me go back over here, and I'm going to start with the same syntax that we had before. So let the hub URL go get the follower stream. This is where the follower hub is listening. So that's the URL where that is. Stop it. Where that is listening. And then I'm going to create a connection to it. I need to create an HTTP connection to that endpoint. And I'm going to create an actual hub connection to it. Now that hub connection is going to go across the HTTP to that endpoint, and it's going to do something with the data that comes back. And it's actually not on followers, right? This is the method that we're registering. I'm not registering on follower count updated. On viewer count updated is the name of this. And I'm receiving back two parameters, service and count, because I'm receiving two arguments coming back, and we'll figure out what to do with those in a minute. And then the last method we've got to call here, this is the one that I always forget when I'm working with SignalR. We've actually got to tell it, start the connection with the hub, start listening, and know when to respond to each one of these things. So when the viewers count updated, I'm going to want to update one of these two locations. So let's wrap this. Haha. That was Alt-Shift-W to get it to wrap. And I will call this Twitch count. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to highlight the code and then Alt-Shift-W, and it wraps it with another tag. So I'll use a span. Mixer count. Hawkeye 1432. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. Alright, so now I've got those two locations. So now on viewer count updated, so they're looking for information about the code coverage feature for .NET Core. I thought it was added, and I would reach out to my colleague Casey Uhlenhuth or Kendra Havens for more information about that. I want to integrate into my CI/CD pipeline. Now that's a little bit further out. I don't know about that one. And getting it coming back from your test methods. I'm not sure about that. But my viewer count updated, so I'm going to be receiving, right, I'm going to be receiving something that's the service name, which will be Twitch or Mixer. Let's actually send that as lowercase. Quarter Nyan? Welcome. Thank you for the follow. So I'm going to send down that service name, and then I'll be able to start painting the new values into these spans here, using code coverage to determine how much code is being tested. There you go. But that's Visual Studio. Looks like you want to do it on the command line. Alright, so I want to receive... so the service now is lowercase, which will match perfectly with Twitch or Mixer. So I should be able to do something like document get element by ID, the service name followed by the word count, and that should get me that span, and then I should be able to say text content equals the new count that was passed. And I think that'll work for me. Doug the Coder, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Getting close to 400 on our goal here. That's great. Just don't forget to push your changes. We can take it as homework to finish this user interface. Sending through Twitch, because when I sent it through Mixer, it got skipped on screen. Really? I didn't see it. Alright, let me go back to current viewers. There we go. That looks about right. And every 5 seconds, that should update with new numbers. So let's bring this up. Sure looks like it's connected, and I can't tell if it's updating. Yep, Kendra Havens. She is... I forget what Kendra's ID on Twitter is. There, Got Heap. There you go. That's Kendra Havens. She now owns the testing experience in Visual Studio. Casey Uhlenhuth as well. So together, they work on those features. Yep. So this looks like it's working. I can't tell. I mean, it says 3216. That's the same numbers that are in the corner. So for right now, to close up the current stream, I'm happy with how that's working. We can do some testing and actual validation next time. So I am going to close this down, and I want to push my change. Yep. I'm going to push my changes out to the project. So let me add Fritz, Stream Tools, Pages, Current Viewers. All right. Looks good. So let's commit that. Started work on the viewer count widget. All right. And I'll push. Doesn't seem to have updated. I closed Twitch here. Well, the 32 in the corner and the 16 was the same number. So it looks like it may have. It was at least showing the same numbers. Right. So if I just tell that to run, this should be up and running in just a second. There it is. And if I refresh that, yep, it's showing, well, that was a first refresh. Nope. So it's not clear to me if it's truly updating from Twitch, because I'm seeing 30 in the corner, and I'm still seeing 30 here. Oh, look at this. Oh, there! It updated to 32. There we go. And now down to 30. So I think it's updating properly. Fantastic. All right. So I think we've gotten done a pretty good piece of code today. We pushed it into the project. Yep, and down to 29. I'm seeing 29 on my console over here. It'll update. It's that 5-second gap there that just feels a little weird. But I can also put like a total out here also. So if we get 3 or 4 of these things out here, I can add things like total. And right, that'll update for me automatically, right? That would be cool. And just make it plus model mixer current viewer count. There it is. But I don't have the SignalR updating the total. Not bad. So we can tinker more with that, but I'd like to get these updated so that we have a cool font there, and I'm using the actual logos for the services. But we can take a look at that next time, and it's something that if somebody feels like putting together a pull request, go ahead and send it out there. Emojis, sure, we can pull that from Font Awesome. I think they're in Font Awesome. But, you know, take a look at that, see what you guys think. You know, this feels like something easy that you can put together a pull request around and tune a little bit. So take a look at that. I think we accomplished a lot today. We pushed our changes back into the Stream Tools project, and just a reminder, that's in the Feature SignalR stream. So go check that out if you want to help contribute. Next project, chat. I think you're right. I think we need to start talking about chat. And Thursday, Glenn should be joining us. Maybe we can start talking about integrating those features from Jabber and SignalR into the project. So maybe we'll take a look at that then. and then we can start to publish some of this stuff out. And yeah, I think that this might get really interesting quick here. Well, thank you everybody for joining me today. I'm really happy with where we've gone. I will, as always, save off the recording. It'll be available on YouTube later today. And I should have a blog post wrap-up talking about the code that we wrote, and with links to some of your questions. You know, if I can get some answers, I'll post those in the blog post. All right. Thanks a lot for joining me today. We'll see you next time. Take care.